Family Matters show. I'm Benjamin Bryant, partner of Bryant McKinnon Lawyers here in Coffs Harbour. Today I'm joined with my business partner, Heather McKinnon. Can my children be taken out of the country without my permission? I've done some research that says that my partner could take the issue to court and be allowed to take the children away. I don't want my children taken away from me, so the threat of court is causing me tremendous stress. What should I do?
So in Australia in 2018, most children will travel overseas during their childhood. They will normally have some travel with parents in primary school, and in high school they'll usually have one independent school arranged trip. So as children get to the stage where the family decides, okay, we want to go to Fiji, the normal position is that in separated families, the person wanting to take the kids overseas will write a letter to the other parent saying, look, are you cool with this? Here's the passport applications. We're going for 10 days. This is what we're doing. The great majority of parents agree because they realise that it is absolutely beneficial for children to experience the world. The serious cases that we're involved in where there is real concern about a parent trying to relocate a child permanently to the other side of the world are the ones that have to be assessed very carefully. So the big message is the passport control and exit point regime in Australia is very, very well developed, and it's very hard to get a child out of Australia without having passports that are in place with both parents' consent. So most parents should understand that what you read about in terms of international child abduction is very, very rare. But Ben, you might want to talk about the cases we're involved in where there is some factors that alert us to what we call non-Hague signatory cases where people might be looking to take children to other countries.
That's right, and because it's not a lot of people when answering that question or looking into that question, the first thing is to look at Australia and what the Australian requirements are to leave the country. But of course, you also have to focus on the other country, the intended country of travel, because not all countries are the same. They all have their own, international travel and immigration and migration policies, and it may well be that sometimes, even when parents consent to children travelling with the other parent, when that other parent is getting to the country that they're visiting, of course, they ask questions or they're refused entry because they don't meet the requirements, whether they need something further from the other parent or what have you. So every country is different. So parents travelling internationally with children really need to be mindful of that and do some research about the country that they're visiting, their policies and their travel policies. Some countries are party to what we call the Hague Convention, which essentially is a convention that countries can sign, which is a kind of a partnership where they work in agreement with each other to arrange for the return of children, with unlawful withholding of children in another country. So if when assessing whether the concerns of a parent that's remaining in Australia is real or there's grave concern, one of those considerations is whether the other parent is intending to travel with the children or child to a non-signatory country of the Hague Convention, which would make the investigation, the return of the child, incredibly difficult.
Yeah, we probably should give some practical examples. So on the north coast of New South Wales, the sorts of cases that we've been involved in are cases where you have a international marriage, where you have an Australian parent and, say, a German parent, and the parent who came from Germany takes the children on school holidays, everybody's happy, then rings at the end of the holiday while still in Germany to say, I'm not bringing the kids back. The German and Australian governments are both signatories to the Hague Convention, and we've had practical examples of how quickly that legislation works, in that the German government immediately puts those kids on a plane back to Australia. But there are other countries, and they're normally either third world or Muslim countries, that are not signatories to the Hague Convention. And you would have heard on the media over the years cases where children have been taken to countries such as Lebanon, into Malaysia, where those children, once they're in that jurisdiction, can't be retrieved, and that's where you get those horrific stories of people hiring professional kidnappers. So if you're in an international marriage and your partner is from a country where they have the right to reside, and they're not signatories to the Hague Convention, and there is conflict over the arrangements for the children at separation, you have to get immediate legal advice and act very quickly, because unfortunately if those kids get out of Australia, there's not much that can be done to bring them back. So, but we don't want to be panic merchants. The great bulk of these cases are where one parent's got the ability to take the kids overseas on holidays and the other parent hasn't, and so the green-eyed monster is trying to stop that parent giving the kids a good time. The judges see straight through it.
And also there's really significant circumstances like what you just raised, but also the court, and people have to weigh up that children have a right to a freedom of movement as well. They have a right to be parented by the other parent and enjoy the cultures and stuff of the rest of the world as well.
Yeah.
So it's a balance, and again, you should get independent legal advice specific for your circumstances.
Yeah.
If you or someone you know are going through a family law settlement or have recently separated and want some more information, please don't hesitate to send us a message. You can do that through Facebook, or you can send an email to familymatters@brightmckinnon.com.au.